Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are doing well. Today we're gonna do a cooking video. I'm gonna teach you how to make an Indian chicken curry. So let's start first of all with the ingredients. I show you here the ingredients on the picture. You can see chicken. We need some chicken. That's half a kilo of chicken. We got tomato. That's about half a kilo of tomato. We got the spices. That's garam masala, turmeric, chili powder, and curry powder. And we got some garlic as well, which we're gonna chop up, and we got some butter and salt, as well as some cream. And let's just have a look at the spices here. As you can see on the plate, we have garam masala, we have some curry, we have a little bit of turmeric and some chili powder. You can also use a little bit of coriander powder if you want, but it's not absolutely necessary. So we got that out of the way. Let's get started. Get started with the Indian curry. I'm going to teach you how to make a curry, and we're going to do it right now. So I got a pan right here. You can obviously use a saucepan, but I'm just using a frying pan. It's big enough to contain everything, so it's not a problem. Okay, got the pan. I put it on medium heat. I put it on 6. So my settings go up to 9, but I'm using 6, so medium heat. Okay. So we start off with basics. Just gonna add some butter. And as you can see, because of the medium heat, the butter is starting to melt, and we're just gonna move it around. As you can see here, just gonna move it around and wait for it to melt. So it's quite simple. We start off with butter, just get some decent amount of butter. And next thing, we're gonna be adding some garlic, but we're just gonna wait for all this to melt down. Yeah, you guys gonna see this recipe for Indian curry is something that I've perfected over the years. I have tweaked it quite a lot over the years, and it's actually a pretty simple recipe. So if you want some healthy food, and especially if you don't want to eat any rice or carbs or bread or whatever, you can do this carnivore. This is pretty much a carnivore meal. I will be adding, I usually do add some, vegetables or, maybe potatoes or something to go along with the meat, because this is a chicken curry. But yeah, it's a pretty simple recipe to make, nothing too complicated. All right, so the butter has melted, and now it's time to add our garlic. So we add in the garlic, just some nicely chopped up garlic. And basically what we're trying to do here now is just to, lightly, gently fry the garlic in the butter. Remember guys, we're not trying to burn the garlic. We just want it to gently cook in the butter to release some of the flavors into the dish. And there's something you're going to discover about making Indian chicken curry is everything is about the heat. You have to control the heat very well, and you have to make sure that the heat is used in a very gentle way, only to release the flavors, not to overcook. Because if you use too much heat, this is a very spicy dish, and spices means flavors. And the worst thing you can do with spices is overuse heat. If you overheat, you're going to destroy all those flavors. And you're going to see now, very soon, when we're going to be adding the spices, you're going to see what we're going to do to the heat to make sure that it doesn't burn or lose all that flavor. Because that's the problem with spices, is you want just enough heat to mix in with that butter and to release the flavors into the butter, but you don't want to overuse the heat, to overheat the dish so much that the flavors of the spices get burnt and then you lose the flavor. Because that can actually have a massive impact on your dish. I mean, I remember making I used to make this mistake in the past that I would overheat the dish and use too much heat, and the flavor of the spices would just go away, and the when I finished the dish, of the chicken curry, it would taste horrible. It would just have like this really horrible taste, and all the flavor of the spices would be gone. So that's exactly what you don't want to do. So okay, we just keep just frying this garlic a little bit. We're gonna give it maybe another minute or so, and it'll pretty much be over. As you can see, it's all doing very well, and of course, it's releasing a lot of flavor. You can smell the fragrance of the garlic and the butter. Absolutely amazing. It's quite great. Anyway, so now we're gonna add the spices. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna lower the heat. I'm just lowering the heat now. I'm gonna lower it to a 5, and here we have the spices. That's the garam masala, the turmeric, the curry, and the chili powder. And just gonna add it in there, as you can see. And here we go. Now you just have to mix everything in. And what you're doing is you're making this like sort of like a paste. You can call it a curry paste. Basically, you're making a curry paste is what you're doing right here. So you're making this curry paste, and like I said, you want to reduce the heat down to lower heat, so that it doesn't burn and destroy all the flavors. You want to maintain all those flavors in the dish. So we're just gonna mix this much as possible. As you can see, it makes like a paste, sort of like an interesting paste. And like you can see, the temperature, the heat is down. So it's just about simmering, but it's not like boiling. It's not really, using too much heat. Just sort of simmering heat, and we don't want to keep it cooking in this phase too long. We just want to, mix everything in, all the spices to get mixed in, with the butter and the garlic, and release some of those flavors. It's pretty much all we want to do, and that's it. So you just want to do this for about like 2 minutes, basically. All right, guys? And now we get to another part. We're going to increase the heat again. We're going to increase it to, let's say, a 6, or maybe, let's say, a 7, right? And let me add my tomatoes here. We got half, 400 grams of chopped tomatoes, as you can see here. And we're just going to mix the spices. Spices are just gonna get mixed with the tomato. All right, guys. It's very simple, and just mix everything. And now, when you got this this curry paste, this tomato with spices and butter and garlic, you want to cook it for a short period of time. And this is usually a very good time for you to add some salt. So we're going to do just that. And I got some salt right here. And we're going to add a little bit of salt to taste. And yeah. So let's just come back here. I've been cooking this for about 5 minutes on medium heat, 6. So now it's been like 5 minutes or so. It's, as you can see, starting to form as a proper paste. And what you want to do at this point is pretty much just add the the cream. We're gonna add the cream. You can also use coconut milk. I used to use coconut milk all the time, but whatever. If you want to use coconut milk, it gives a different flavor. You can also use cream, like I'm doing right now. You can also try to mix in. You could technically substitute the butter. You can substitute it for coconut fat or coconut oil, whichever way you want to call it. It's not a bad idea. All right. So we're just gonna mix everything here. As you can see, it's forming this beautiful color, which is typical of the chicken curries. And if you got this color so far, then that means you're probably doing something right. That means the balance of the spices and the tomato and the cream is just about right. And this is pretty much the color that you're looking for. It's this sort of, this orangey, slight, ochre color is exactly what you're looking for, right? And now that you got everything here mixed in, right? Then we are now ready to add another ingredient, which is chicken, right? So we took some chicken and we cut it up into pieces, just bite-sized pieces, cubes, whatever you want to call it. And you just add the chicken. Oh shit, especially everything. And you add the chicken right here. And just mix the chicken thoroughly. And we're gonna let this cook for quite a while, actually. We're gonna put it on, we're gonna lower the heat and we're gonna let it cook and simmer. And yeah, and it's gonna be very good, basically. So just make sure everything is like properly mixed in and covered. And there we go. Now this is just gonna be left to cook for a while. It's gonna be ideally you should leave it to cook for about at least half an hour. Half an hour is typically a good like the curry should take about 40 minutes from start to finish. Should take you about 10 minutes to arrive at this stage, about 10 or 15 minutes to get to this stage, and then from this stage you let it simmer on low heat for about 30 minutes. If you can do longer, that'll be better because the flavor will develop more and you will get better flavors. Obviously, guys, curry is something that takes time. It has to be done properly. And anyway, so now we're at 6. I'm going to lower it down to 5, and I'm just going to let it simmer. And this is what you want. You want these simmering bubbles, but you don't want it to boil. If it boils, it's not good. Boiling means you're destroying the flavor, you're destroying the fragrances, you're destroying the spices, right? You just want it to simmer gently as it is doing right now, okay? Let's just give it a little bit of a stir right here. Just a little bit of a stir. I was thinking about adding some broccoli at the end, but I can see here that I don't really have enough space on my pan. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking maybe I'll just forget about the broccoli. We could just do it with chicken, basically. Anyway, so as you can see, this is exactly what you want. You got the right color right here. It looks good, and you got the chicken in there. And it's just gently simmering with these bubbles, and everything's going to be good. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. So yeah, we'll be back in about 30 minutes. During the 30 minutes, a good idea once in a while, every 5 or 10 minutes, to come in just to shake things a little bit, mix it in with a spoon or whatever, or a ladle. And yeah, so you want to wait for about 30 minutes. 30 minutes should be ready, should be cooked. It should be absolutely amazing and ready to be eaten. Anyway, guys, see you soon. All right, guys, so we're back here. It's been 30 minutes, and this curry has been simmering for 30 minutes. And as you can see, it is ready. Everything is ready. And voila, this is what you want basically. This is what it should look like. Now, during that 30 minutes, if you feel that the curry has become a little bit dry, especially if you've been adding some, especially if you added some potato or something like that, that might happen. Nothing wrong with adding a little bit of water as it's simmering, during those 30 minutes. But anyway, after 30 minutes, it should be ready. It should look something like this. This is the color you're looking at. And yeah, pretty much now we're ready. We can eat this curry and it can be enjoyed. So anyway, guys, if you like this video, and especially if you want to see more of these cooking videos, I got a lot of recipes that I know how to make. And I can teach you how to make different types of food. And yeah, if you like this kind of content, let me know in the comment section. And of course, like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys in the next one.